Hello, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another function of Python, which is degrees. Degrees function is mainly used to convert the radians into degrees. So let's say you have some radians and you want to calculate the equivalent degrees for that. So in that case, you can utilize this degrees function. But before that, we need to import the one module, which is math module. Okay, because this function comes with a math module only. So here you can see on line number 6 we are importing this module. So I just write import math, which will import the math module, and post that throughout the program we can utilize this function degrees. So here you can see there are couple of scenarios noted down. Okay, so one by one we will discuss each and every scenario, although the syntax would be the same throughout the program, but there would be some different in terms of input values. So just focus on the first scenario. Here in first scenario we are writing math.degrees, which is a function which will take the input as radians. So I just passed the value as 0. When we calculate the equivalent degrees for the 0 radian, the output would be 0 0.0. Let's verify the same. So what I will do, I will scroll it up and here I will write python space session 83.py. Now hit enter. So once you hit enter, it will show you that it prints the value 0 0.0, which is the equivalent degree for 0 radian. Okay. If you want to learn more about this function, just take your mouse cursor here. It will show you these information, like it converts the angle x from radians to degrees, and also it is showing the syntax for this function. Now focus on the second scenario. In second scenario, we are also using another function of math module, which is math.py. Basically the pi is the function and math is the module from which we are fetching this function. So what it will do, it will return the value of pi. So for second scenario, we are dividing the pi value with 4, and whatever the output it will return will be considered as a radians, and then we are calculating the equivalent degrees for the same. So the output you can see here is 45. Okay. Now look at the third scenario. In third scenario, we are using the same function, but this time we are dividing it with 2. So when you divide the pi value with 2, and then after that when you calculate the degrees for this, the output would be like this, 90.0. So you can see all the values are in float. Okay. Look at the fourth scenario. Let's say instead of division, you want to pass some expression as a value or as a radians, and then you want to calculate the equivalent degrees for that. So in fourth scenario we are doing the same. We are multiplying the math.py value with 2, and whatever the output we are getting here would be converted to the degrees. So equivalent output is 360.0. Now focus on the fifth scenario. In fifth scenario we are passing the value but in terms of negative. Okay, you can see we are providing negative value, negative math.py by 6. So it will calculate the output in terms of pi division by 6, and then it will calculate the equivalent degrees. So output is 29.99. Clear? Now focus on the sixth scenario. Can we pass decimal value to this function? Yes, we can pass decimal value as well. So here I'm passing the decimal value, which is 1.5, and when you calculate the equivalent degree for 1.5, the output would be 85.9436 something. Now look at the seventh scenario. In seventh scenario, we are passing the value not directly, but in terms of variable. So let's say we have some value stored in our variable and we want to pass that variable instead of values. Like so far for all the scenarios we are passing the values directly, but now what I am doing, I am passing the value in terms of variable. So you can see we are just passing the x, which holds the value as math.py by 3. So firstly it will calculate the math.py, then it will divide it with 3, and then that value will be stored in x variable, and then we are passing this x variable to this function, and the output is 60.0. Okay, so this is how we can utilize this function degrees. and it is mainly used for calculating the degrees of the equivalent radians. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this session. I hope it is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things, so thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.